If you are looking to buy a new gaming PC that's already built for you, well, pre-built PCs are going to be your best option. However, you have to keep in mind that prices change basically every single day, and that's why I make these type of videos to show you the best pre-built gaming PCs of the week for every budget and every resolution, including 1080p, 1440p and 4K. I will also show you the level of performance that you can achieve with each system. That way you know what to expect when buying one of these PCs, which, by the way, the links to all of these updated systems will be down in the video description. My name is Valentino. With that being said, let's start. The first one is the best budget system in the entire market. Now, this one has been my choice for a while now because I do think that this PC has an amazing price to performance, because for under $1,000 you are getting a 1080p ultra gaming system that's also capable of 1440p resolution even in high demanding games. And I'm talking about this Skytech Nebula system. This one has the RTX 4060, which is an NVIDIA GPU that's ideal for 1080p high FPS, and I have tested this PC myself and I was able to average 88 plus FPS when it comes to high demanding games like Hogwarts Legacy and Cyberpunk 2077, and then in esports shooters like Fortnite or Valorant I was able to achieve over 300 FPS. So if you want a 240 or 360 Hz 1080p monitor, this system is also ideal for you, especially if you're working with a tight budget under $1,000. Now, this PC right now is on a discount when I'm recording this video for $830. It used to be $850, so you get a nice little discount. And in my opinion, as I said before, this one is the best price to performance system for under $1,000. Now, this system is also capable of 1440p 60 plus FPS on average, even in high demanding games. But if you want to play at 1440p, higher FPS, and with a better system specifically for 1440p, then I recommend you getting this Skytech Archangel 4, which is going for $1,400. It's quite more expensive, but you get the RTX 4070 Super, which is one of the best graphics cards in the entire market when it comes to 1440p. And with this graphics card, you can expect well over 100 FPS on average at 1440p high to ultra settings. So that's almost 40 FPS more on average in high demanding games compared to the Skytech Nebula. Yes, of course, this one is quite more expensive, as I said before, but if you have around $1,400 to spend and you want to play at 1440p ultra settings, this is going to be the ideal system for you. Now, for esports shooters, with this one you can achieve 240 plus FPS on average at 1440p competitive settings, and I am talking about, once again, games like Valorant, CS2 and Fortnite, because you get the i5 13400F CPU and you get 32 gigs of RAM, which is also ideal for streaming. However, if your favorite games are esports shooters and you want to play at 1440p, I recommend you getting the Omen 40L from HP, which is the next one on the list. It's a bit more expensive than the Skytech one, but you get an i7 processor, which is much faster than the i5 processor from the Skytech PC. That being said, in those esports shooters, which usually require more of your CPU, you will be achieving 360 plus FPS, and I'm talking about 1440p competitive settings. So if you want to play at 1080p, you can expect 500 plus FPS on average, making it possible for you to buy a 540Hz 1080p monitor, which is the fastest refresh rate at the moment. This PC right now is going for $1,550 because it is on a nice discount. Keep in mind that maybe when you're watching this, these PCs might be out of stock, or maybe the price is different, so I do recommend you checking the latest pricing and availability from the links down below. Now, if you want to max out the level of performance at 1440p, especially if you want to play those high demanding titles, or maybe you want to buy a 4K monitor right now, but you do not want to buy those super expensive systems with the RTX 4090 where you have to spend at least $3,000, well, the next system, the Skytech O11 from Amazon, it is going to be the best option for you, because this system is capable of 1440p very high FPS, and I'm talking about over 100 FPS on average in the most high demanding titles out there, and you also get the fastest CPU in the entire market when it comes to gaming in the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. So if you want to play esports shooters, you will be achieving the highest FPS as well. On top of that, you get a 1TB Gen 4 SSD and 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, which, as I said before, it is going to be ideal if you want to do streaming or content creation at the same time. And since you get the RTX 4070 Ti Super, which is in my opinion one of the best 1440p graphics cards out there. You can also run games at 4K resolution, 70 plus FPS on average, and I'm talking about high to ultra settings in high demanding games. So if you turn on DLSS, which is the upscaler from Nvidia, and it's going to work amazingly well in high demanding titles at 4K, you can expect closer to 90 or 100 plus FPS depending on the game and depending on the settings, while maintaining a really good picture quality. So in my opinion, this is the best price to performance overall system for gaming in the market. But if you want to play at 4K and you do not want to turn on DLSS even on the most high demanding titles, well, for just a little bit more, you can get the HP Omen 45L. This system has an i7 14th gen processor, which is actually quite similar compared to the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, so it's also one of the fastest CPUs in the market for gaming. However, this one is more unstable than the Ryzen one, but here you get the RTX 4080 Super, and the RTX 4080 Super is a 4K ultra graphics card, and instead of you getting 70 plus FPS when it comes to the most high demanding titles with no DLSS, here you are expecting 85 plus FPS on average, so that's quite faster, and in my opinion it is worth the price difference if you want to play at 4K. If you want to play at 1440p, the 4070 Ti Super is going to be perfect for most people, and you do not need anything more than that. But again, if you want to play at 4K ultra settings, for around $200 more, you are getting much faster performance. But keep in mind that here you get 60 gigs of RAM, so if you want to do streaming and content creation, I recommend you either upgrading this PC for 32 gigs of RAM, and that's going to cost you about $80 more, or just going with the other system with the 4070 Ti Super and getting those 32 gigs of DDR5 memory. Another option that you have is spending a bit more and getting 32 gigs of RAM in the Skytech Chronos 2. Here you get the RX 7900 XTX graphics card, which is basically the same as the RTX 4080 Super in terms of rasterized performance at 4K ultra settings. The 7900 XTX is a bit faster, but you have to keep in mind that the 4080 Super has DLSS, which is an amazing upscaler and works better than FSR from AMD, and you get a better level of ray tracing. So if you want to play with ray tracing enabled, or you want to play with DLSS on, then the last system is going to be better, and I do recommend you making the upgrade yourself. However, if you want better rasterized performance, more memory, and you do not want to install the RAM yourself, then this one is better, and here you get a Ryzen 7 7700X, which is an amazing processor, and it is more stable than the i7 14700K, so you have less chances of running into any stability issues while gaming. This PC right now is going for $2,500 or more depending on the warranty that you choose. And then if you want to combine the best of the best for 4K without having to spend over $3,000, because once again, if you want the best of the best, I will talk about that in a second, but if you want something under $3,000 and you want to combine the RTX 4080 Super, which is better overall than the 7900 XTX, you want a Ryzen CPU which is more stable and is also the fastest one in the market, and you want 32 gigs of RAM at the same time, and on top of that you get more storage in 2TB of SSD, then I recommend you getting this Skytech Prism 3. This one is $300 more expensive than the last one at $2,880, but you are getting a Ryzen 9 7900 X3D, which is one of the fastest CPUs in the market, and it is more stable than Intel. Then you get those 32 gigs of RAM, 2TB of SSD, so more storage, and you get the 4080 Super, which is one of the best graphics cards overall for 4K, as I mentioned before. And then if you just want the best of the best, because to be fair, some people do want the best of the best and you are willing to spend a high amount of money, then I recommend you getting the Prism PC from Amazon. This one is $3,200, so quite expensive, but you get the fastest CPU in the market and the fastest GPU in the market in the RTX 4090. If you don't know, the RTX 4090 is going to be able to run every game at 4K ultra settings with no DLSS on. You can also turn on ray tracing. I mean, as I said before, it is the fastest one and there's no other graphics card that's going to beat this one in terms of gaming performance. So you can expect over 110 plus FPS on average in the most high demanding titles at 4K resolution on ultra settings. Of course, you get 2TB of SSD, so you get plenty of storage, and overall this is the best gaming system. Spending anything more than this will not get you any benefit when it comes to your gaming performance, and this PC is one of the most expensive systems at $3,200, but if you have the budget to buy it, honestly, this is an amazing option. And then the last PC is quite more expensive, and I do not recommend you buying this one if you just want to do gaming. But if you are a content creator and you want to have the best of the best for gaming and content creation at the same time, well, spending the extra might be a good investment for you, because for $4,000 you can get this Skytech Eclipse 2, which has the Ryzen 9 7900X3D, which is quite faster than the 7800X3D when it comes to video editing and content creation. Then you get the RTX 4090, which is the best one in the market for both gaming and content creation, and at the same time you get 64 gigs of RAM, which is not going to give you any gaming benefit. But again, if you want to do content creation, having 64 gigs of RAM might be a huge advantage depending on the programs that you use. Here you also get 2 TB of SSD, which is plenty of storage, but if you ever need more, this is going to be a very easy upgrade to make. Now, if you have any questions regarding any systems, you can either ask me in the comment section and I will try to reply as fast as possible, or you can go ahead and ask for my personal PC help. That's going to be the top link in the description. And also remember that these systems might have a different price, so I will be trying to update the video description every day for you to have the best prices and availability down below. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.